Welcome, welcome. It's time for our next virtual reading video. We had a girl one last week, Miss Dirt. So this week it's time for a boy one. And we've got Master Track's train. Okay, there he is, obviously, Master Track. Remember, Master means the son of the house. Mr. is the father and Master is the boy. And for some reason we've got a bunch of washing coming out of a train at the top here. Carpet bag. And a green signal flag from the olden days before they controlled the train with traffic lights. Some interesting looking luggage. Right, here we go. Our illustrator this time is Andre Amstutz. Remember him? Was he the Funny Bones guy? And there, do you remember we've got our little bird, the Puffin, subset of Penguin Publishing. And you can see the date, 1997. It's another later one, so it'll probably have a more playful structure. Here is an announcement. Or maybe you can say it more like a train announcement, station announcement, say it. Here is an announcement. The train approaching platform 2 is full of stolen goods, crowded with crooks, and a day and a half late. British Rail are sorry for the delay. How could this happen? What a disaster. Help! How could this happen, you ask? Well, listen and I'll tell you all about it. Okay, we now got a flashback, you know, like in a film where someone's thinking to a long time ago. The story began many years ago with a little train, a big driver, a big driver's wife, an empty platform, and a handbag. A handbag? That is such a famous line from a play called The Importance of Being Earnest. And this man, Ernest, really wants to marry somebody, and their very intimidating old aunt says, well, where were your parents? And he says, I was found in a handbag. And she replies, a handbag? And he was found in a handbag at the station, just like, I think, our main character today. A handbag? Yes, a handbag. Do you remember on the front I called it a carpet bag because in the old days I think they were made of carpet. I think that's why they called a carpet bag, with that funny design, and they're kind of bigger than the handbags we use nowadays. You couldn't fit a baby inside the handbags that we use now. But if you've seen the film Mary Poppins, she's got a carpet bag. So a carpet bag is like an old-fashioned kind of handbag. Mr. Track, he was the driver, picked up the bag. Mrs. Track, she was the driver's wife, peeped inside. And what did they find? A baby! Mr. and Mrs. Track took the baby to the Lost Property Office. When no one claimed him, they took him home to live with them. Looks like he's already made a friend of the Lost Property Officer. We'll call him Toby, they said. And they did. Look, you can see she's got all of the handles that operate the old-fashioned signal before they had traffic lights. So I guess they live in the signal house with their teapot there. Oh, that's not English. Mon repos halt. Is that French or Spanish or Italian? I like their little garden with the lettuces getting a water there. Cat's not sure about the water. Look at the way he's held up the hose. I like his prop. What's that, compost? Toby Track was a good baby, a good toddler, well nearly, a good little boy and a good big boy. Out driving the train in all weathers. Oh look, can you see what season it must be with those blossom trees there? Oh look, they've got that line of washing. Maybe that's how they get their washing dry. Maybe they just take it on the train and the wind dries it. Although you think it might get a bit of smoke on it, make it all dirty again. Oh my goodness. Drama. He went everywhere with his mum and dad. Love it. You know how train tracks really go on mountains, how they sort of wind around like a kind of cake instead of up and over, but I love the idea. Toby Track is certainly having an adventurous life here. As he got older, he helped with the tickets, the sandwiches, and lots of other jobs. Look, that was on the front. Can you deduce what other jobs he's doing? Do you think he's carrying around or pulling around this trolley with all this luggage on? These golf caddies, and is that an old tennis racket? Oh, there he is making the sandwiches. That must be for all the passengers. Look what he's putting in the sandwiches. Tomato and chocolate spread? I hope they're different sandwiches. That'll be interesting. I think that's cheese. Maybe cheese and tomato. That's that old-fashioned butter there. Oh, wow. It's even let him load coal into the furnace. If you were doing the Titanic with me, you'll remember we had that word furnace, where you're putting the coal in to do the fire to make the train go forward, or the boat. Oh, look, he's allowed to do the signal flag as well, and the whistle. So much responsibility. Then, one morning, just 2 days ago, a terrible thing happened. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Maybe I should say that. Oh, yes. Mr. and Mrs. Track woke up to find that Toby's bed was empty and the train had gone. Oh no, open window with the curtain blowing and you can see the train outside, or lack of train. Help, you say. How could this happen? I can't bear it. Help. Well, listen, and you'll hear. These are funny, aren't they? These little characters who keep cropping up with little comments. Toby Track had woken in the night to find a shining torch, a whispering voice, a grabbing hand, running feet, and a moving train. Du, du, du. Oh, look, he's managed to sprint along in his pyjamas and jump onto the train. The stolen train puffed off into the night. On board, a family of crooks. Bad dad, bad mum, 2 bad children, and a bad dog. Their name was Creep. Didn't they get mentioned in one of the other Happy Families books we had? Hang on a sec, let me check. I'm wondering if it was Master Bun the Baker's Boy. Do you remember they talked about lots of other jobs you might have? Here we are. It's bank robber rather than creep. Oh, look, this must be the nighttime scene of all the countryside that they're taking the train through. Look, see this weather vane here with a running fox on it? And then, can you see over here? There's the running fox in exactly the same posture, exactly the same position. Nice. I like these weather vanes. They blow round north, south, east and west to show where the wind is coming from. So what's happened to our hero, Toby Track, on board this train? Is he hiding somewhere? Have they discovered him? The train puffed on. It stopped and started and stopped and started. The creeps were stealing as they were going along. Anything and everything. This, that and the other. So stealing a horse. Stealing a wheelbarrow full of bricks. Must be heavy to push. Stealing a washing line full of clothes. They worked all night. When morning came, they hid in a tunnel. That's clever. Oh yes, so if the whole train is inside the tunnel and a helicopter is flying over above, they would look down but they wouldn't be able to see them. They'd just see the hill. Ah, cunning plan. Oh look, do you recognise this and this? Look, it says bun on there. You know who that belongs to, that bike full of bread, and the butcher's dog with the string of sausages in his mouth. Look, I found it in this book. So I got it out to compare the bikes, and I've discovered, look, the dog here with the sausages isn't the butcher's dog. It's Mr. Creep, the crook's dog. That's where we met him before. Cheeky dog. The creeps sat in the guard's van and ate their stolen breakfasts. You know, the guard is the person on the train who used to look after everybody. You had the driver and the guard, and they would have the place where you put the big luggage, like the bikes and things like that, and they'd blow their whistle and say if it was safe for the train to go. The perfect getaway! This is the perfect crime. The perfect hideout. The perfect sausage! Then, worn out and pleased with themselves, they fell asleep. Snore, snore. Dog's asleep. Snore. Look, did you notice? There's our hero, Toby Track, creeping in Out crept Toby. Oh, he's already in there. Look, he was in... Did you notice him before? Hiding in that chest. Out crept Toby Track. How did he get in there? He hid in a trunk. He hid in a trunk. So you could call that a chest or a trunk. I'd normally say a trunk was bigger. I'd say that was the trunk. Out crept Toby. He knew how to lock the guard's van, so he locked it. He knew how to drive the train, so he drove it. He didn't know his way home, so he got lost. For a while. I love his route. Look, it's like a sort of map past all these places he drove the train. Look, there's a knight in the castle. People waving at the train as it passes. Little do they know that it's containing thieves. But what about the creeps, you ask? Well, they yelled and they banged, but they couldn't get out of the van. See, here comes the train now, and they're still in it. Look, you can tell which one they're in. And here comes Toby. And here come Mr. and Mrs. Track, who are just so pleased to see him. Yay, look at them running towards him, waving. They must have been so worried. Look, it's all working out. There he is, being carried in triumph on his parents' shoulders, while the creeps all get taken off by the cops. And all the stolen things are brought out of the guard's van. Horse doesn't look too bad. Bread might be a bit stale by now. Oh, a happy ending. Yes, a happy ending. Except that, wait a minute. Here is another announcement. The train approaching platforms 4, 5 and 6 is coming in sideways. What a disaster. How could this happen, you ask? No, we don't. No, no more announcements. It's late. And anyway, we must go now. We've got a train to catch. The end. They did there. Do you remember that's how the whole book started, with an announcement about the train is full of stolen goods, crowded with crooks, and someone asked that question, how could this happen? Oh, look, it's meant to be you, the reader, who's asked, how could this happen? And then the whole book is telling us what led to that scenario back at the beginning. So it's a bit like the whole book goes round and round in a loop, in a circle. And you might not have noticed, but a really clever thing is that the whole book telling you what's happened is in the past tense. So what did they do? He was the driver, picked, all past tense. But the bit that's happening right now, the very first page, the train approaching, can you tell what tense that's in? Instead of was, it says is. So it's in the present tense. And then at the very end, we go back. Here's the past tense still. Out crept Toby. He knew. See, those are all things that have already happened. But then it flips to now. Look, here comes the train. Now it's in the present tense. So it's like it's happening. We're standing right there and it's happening to us now. And all the flashback bit in the middle is all in the past tense. Very clever. Oh, and we can't draw any new words today because we're out of time. You'll have to remember the ones we talked about as we went along. Okay, have a great week. See you next time. Bye.